Eagles Rookie of the Year right there.
I laid down on the floor.
Got a twist, another twist.
He's fucking trash. That's the line fans saw before they even clicked play. And they thought Micah Parsons was about to roast 7 quarterbacks one by one. The real story is stranger than that. Right now, Micah is not even in Dallas anymore. The Cowboys traded him to Green Bay, and weeks later, he walked back into that same Dallas stadium for a revenge game that ended in a strange tie. He hit Dak Prescott. He forced quick throws, and he proved exactly why Dallas built its whole defense around him for years. But the bigger question is why a team would trade away a player this dominant in the first place. The answer has a lot to do with his mouth. On the field, Micah hunts quarterbacks for a living. He has piled up sacks and pressures every single year since he entered the league in 2021. But off the field, he often does the opposite of what the title promises. He defends quarterbacks. He goes after the media instead. Make no mistake, Micah is elite. He is feared, and his name shows up in every big NFL conversation. The trouble is that he also talks too much, and his words have a habit of following him around long after the cameras turn off. Still, his words keep landing him in the same kind of chaos that title sells, and that contradiction is the real story. And if this kind of NFL drama is the reason you clicked, give the video some hype right now because this story only gets messier from here. Here's the twist nobody tells you. Micah never actually called these 7 quarterbacks trash. What he trashed was bad takes, bad rules, and bad coaching. He picked apart analysts who used the word trash to get clicks, the same way that title used it to get you here. He called out a national reporter for calling Zach Wilson garbage. He called out the Eagles' tush-push as not even real football. He called a famous radio host's breakdown of his own game trash. None of that proves he is innocent, though. Micah knows exactly how loud words travel online. He keeps choosing lines that are built to be clipped, shared, and turned into headlines, just like the one that brought you here. He builds the fire, then acts surprised when it spreads. People listen to Micah because of what he does on Sundays. Since 2021, he has been one of the most feared defenders in the entire NFL. As a rookie, he piled up 13 sacks, and he topped that the very next year. He has stayed in double-digit sacks almost every single season since, whether he was wearing a Dallas Star or Green Bay green and gold. In October 2025, he wrecked the Arizona Cardinals' offensive line by himself. He picked up 11 quarterback pressures, 5 tackles, 5 quarterback hits, 4 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks in a single game. That was the most pressures any Packers defender had ever recorded since teams started tracking the stat. Offenses now build entire game plans just to slow him down, sliding extra blockers his way and rushing their quarterbacks to throw early. That kind of dominance is exactly why his opinions carry weight. When Micah talks, people listen, because he backs it up every week on the field. Take Zach Wilson, the first and clearest example of this pattern. When a former player called Wilson garbage on national television after a Jets loss, Micah did not stay quiet. He called the criticism fraudulent and said it was bullying, not analysis. He argued Wilson had real talent and just needed time and patience to grow. Later, he claimed the New York media had broken Wilson's confidence on purpose. Here's the problem. Micah was sticking up for a struggling young player, which sounds good, but instead of letting the moment fade, he turned himself into the center of a new fight. The story stopped being about Wilson and became about Micah again. Daniel Jones got the same treatment after a tough loss to the Seahawks. Fans blamed Jones for the Giants' struggles, but Micah pushed back hard. He pointed out that Jones was getting hit by unblocked defenders on play after play, and that no quarterback alive could read a defense under that kind of pressure. It was a fair football point. But again, Micah framed it as proof that everyone else was wrong and only he understood the real game. He was not just defending Jones. He was positioning himself as the smartest voice in the room, and that habit keeps following him. Dak Prescott is the trickiest case, because Dak was Micah's own teammate in Dallas. Micah often defended Dak from what he called unfair double standards in the media. That part sounds loyal, but his podcast also stirred up real tension at home. He put out quarterback rankings that left Dak off the list entirely, and he commented on things like the head coach's job security. Defending your quarterback in public is one thing. Making your own locker room uncomfortable while you do it is another. This is where Micah's media habits stopped looking helpful and started looking messy. A few more quarterbacks round out the list. Before a game against the Bills, Micah called Josh Allen a wild, crazy frat guy on the field. but in the same breath he praised his toughness and his refusal to back down from contact. During Caleb Williams' rookie season, Micah said the media gave him an unfair edit and argued he deserved a spot near the top of the league's player rankings. He watched Jaden Daniels come into the league as a rookie and called him cold-blooded, brushing off the usual doubts that follow first-year quarterbacks. When the Vikings rode Sam Darnold to a strong season, Micah pushed hard for him to get a long-term, well-paid contract, instead of being treated like a temporary fix. Fans often connect Micah to other big-name quarterbacks too. But these are the cases the research actually backs up, and in every single one, he is defending, not destroying. So where did the word trash actually show up? After a Packers loss to the Eagles in November 2025, a well-known sports radio host claimed Micah was just a splash player who could not stop the run. Micah called that take trash and fired back with real numbers, including holding a star running back to 60 yards on more than 20 carries, and pointing out that Green Bay's only losses came in low-scoring games. He also called the Eagles' tush-push trash and said it was not football at all, blaming the rules for letting a lineman get away with moving early on a key drive against the Giants. Notice the pattern. Trash is the word Micah uses for bad opinions and bad rules, never for struggling players. That is exactly why the title that brought you here works so well. It borrows his harshest word and points it somewhere he never did. Still, Micah built this problem himself with his own weekly podcast, The Edge with Micah Parsons. It gave fans real access to one of the best defenders alive, but it also created headaches in Dallas. Veteran teammates like Malik Hooker raised concerns about an active player running a weekly show. Coaches reportedly worried it pulled his focus from defense. Every ranking, every comment about Dak, every word about the coaching staff turned into a story of its own. Micah wanted to control his own narrative instead of letting reporters do it for him. Instead, he ended up creating a second job that competed with his first one. All of that pressure helped push Dallas toward a stunning decision. Big money contract talks for Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah himself were already piling up, and the locker room noise made the whole situation even harder to manage. The Cowboys traded Micah to Green Bay, a move that shocked the entire league. Some people in Dallas saw it as clearing out a distraction. Others in Green Bay saw it as a steal that instantly upgraded their defense. Either way, the trade became proof that talent alone could not protect Micah from the noise he helped create. Then came the revenge game back in Dallas, the one that ended in that bizarre tie. Micah pressured Dak all night, forced quick throws, and showed exactly what the Cowboys gave up. Even in his biggest moment, the story still came wrapped in drama, because that is simply how things go with Micah. So no, Micah Parsons did not destroy 7 soft quarterbacks he called trash. Most of the time, he stood up for them, even when standing up for them came with a cost. He used his platform to fight bad takes, bad rules, and bad coverage. The same kind of coverage that clickbait title represents. But he also built a media presence so loud and so quotable that he keeps stepping into the exact storms he claims to hate. Micah Parsons is one of the rare players whose hits on Sunday give his words on a podcast real weight. He is not the villain this title makes him out to be. He is something more interesting. A defender who protects quarterbacks with one hand and feeds the chaos machine with the other. And that is what makes every single thing he says worth watching long after the final whistle blows.